rangi misena la kachi beru lerim kachi sumchina chama toru tiseda tigomi tsanzara I tiseda tisuni tenlo rangi laba chuse kholore gopdi kanewa kelche di beule pise lebekha zonam ja chichi zamling gyakab leshachi na tarchab joyi mi titan semi chuse kholotsu du gyakab nale nanden bediye bi Disude gonche nildam jibjangap chile gotsukdi tongta kechinga simge panabe yable rara sose ombabda tindi jicho chobe yise shuni jiba chembachin timpu thomgi bulu chuse kholoka shenle thandi dumda chi thomdi dekhoja sa ho chembachin lamgi talu kelwang dingchim yo tholo yise shuni
喂，阿那没说喂，哪一没说？阿都没说喂。
Kuzu Zangpola, and let me proudly welcome you to Season 3 of your favorite show, Do You Know Your Child? As it's been for the last 2 seasons, I, Choni Selden, will continue to be your host. Do You Know Your Child addresses the importance of a clear channel of communication between a parent and a child for the benefit of the family as a whole. Historically speaking, parents and children in our country did not have a great interpersonal communication rapport. But that has changed now with the need for parents to step up their game so as to really know the child. This need for a better and stronger bond between a parent and a child in the new era has given birth to the concept for this show. Our last 2 seasons have all been shot in the capital city, and we thought that since third time is the charm, we wanted to make Season 3 of Do You Know Your Child extra special. So if you can't tell, we are in the extreme opposite of Thimphu this time. Yes, I'm very excited to tell you on behalf of our team that this season of Do You Know Your Child will have guests from the rest of the country. This means we're going to be traveling and rendezvousing with fun families from the central, east, and the south of the country. Today, we are in Trashiangsi, and without any further delay, let's meet with this season's first family from the east.
My name is Pelenji Jujumi. I am 10 years old, and then my school name is Trashiangsi Law Secondary School. And this is my father.
Hello.
And this is my mother. Hi. And this is my sister. Hi. And this is my youngest brother. Me and my dad are coming to the show.
Welcome to Do You Know Your Child, and congratulations on being the first guest of the Season 3 of the show. Before we go about with the questions or anything else, please introduce yourself and tell me a little something about your family.
My name is Kunzang. I'm currently working as a teacher at Trashiangsi Law Secondary School. Basically, I have about 5 members in the family. Like, I have 3 kids, a wife, and myself. So I'm happy to have these many members in my family. So what I would like to honestly tell here is today I'm very much privileged and very happy to be in this great show.
I'm very excited too because I've never come to the East, and this is the first day of the first shoot, and I'm really glad we have you as our first guest because you tell me you're a teacher, right?
Yes, yes.
And you have 3 kids.
Yes, ma'am.
Do these kids also go to the same school as you teach?
Yes, they do go with me.
Okay, all right.
School.
Is it difficult or is it easy being a parent and a teacher at the same time? Because I think a lot of the roles and responsibilities are similar, right? But because you teach in the same school where your kids go, it might be a challenge too. So what do you think?
To be teacher as well as to be a parent, it's both interesting as well as challenging. I get a lot of things to know as in when I be with my kids, whether I be in the school as well as I be at home, because I can teach them whatever I wanted to teach, and whatever I wanted to, to make them understand my good intention towards them. It's challenging in a way, like after having worked for about 6 to 7 hours back in the school and taking rest at home, maybe as and when my kids come with their problems, there sometimes I feel like it's quite challenging. Even if I'm so tired after working so long in the school, so when they come with their problem, I think I had to manage my time to teach them and to solve their problems. So that's what I actually feel. It's quite interesting as well as challenging.
It sounds like a handful. How do you keep up with all that? You need a lot of energy. How do you do that?
I always be mindful of time. And if I manage the time very properly, I think I don't face much problem.
It seems that you're doing well as a parent and a teacher.
Yes.
And so good luck with that. Now, have you watched this show before?
Yes.
So before we start with the show, let me explain to you the rules. It's very simple. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. It's been the same way from season 1.
Okay,
I'm going to
ma'am.
ask you 10 questions about
Okay,
your
ma'am.
kid. And then once you finish answering all these 10 questions, we're going to ask the same 10 questions to your son.
Okay, ma'am.
And then later we'll tally the answers and that'll be your score. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Let me remind you that this score will not be a tag or a mark of how good of a parent you are. It's just a fun game. So are you ready for your first question?
Sure, ma'am.
All right. Question number 1. Would your son know where his village is? Where he's from?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Tashkent Radhi.
Do you think he would know that?
Sure.
Okay. Question number 2. Do you know the color of your son's eyes?
His eyes are black in color.
Black.
Yeah.
Question number 3. Do you know when your son had his last class test?
The maths test maybe last week.
Question number 4. Does your son enjoy any sports?
Football.
Football, okay.
And when he's at home, he always plays like the games that are there in the laptop.
Okay, all right. For this question, I wanted to ask you, because you're a teacher, and while I was growing up, we had teachers who really didn't like kids who were focused in sports.
Yes.
But I think maybe that was because back then, we couldn't make sports our career, right? No one was a football player for no one was a professional football player in the country back then.
Okay, ma'am.
So our teachers were worried, I guess. But now, how is the situation? Because you're a teacher and a parent who has a kid who loves football. So how do you support or maybe not support? What's your stand on it?
Besides reading and writing, I always encourage my kids especially if they play the outdoor games.
Okay.
And even I give them the attire that he requires. So from my side, as a father, I always encourage him
That's
to play.
great. Moving on to the 5th question. Can you name your son's best friend?
His name is Nathan Wangpo.
Nathan Wangpo. Question number 6. Would you know your son's favorite vegetable?
One of eating emergency.
Can he take the spice, the heat?
He always requests his mother to prepare emergency.
Next question. Does your son read?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Does he enjoy reading?
He really enjoys reading.
When does he get the time to read?
As in when he gets free time.
One big question for adults and kids alike is, when do I get the time to read? Because, I mean, we have lots of resources around us. But the problem I realized with people who have a job, kids who go to school, is that they don't get the time. They have homework, classwork, and they have project works. So I think the best time for them to read is right before bedtime.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's when your son reads?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Question number 8. What is your son's favorite book?
He's fond of reading the kind of sports books.
Okay. Let's go to the second last question. Do you think your son knows the coronation date of our 4th king?
Maybe he knows the coronation year.
Question number 10, which is your last question. Do you think your son knows the fourth king's full name?
Yes, he does.
Okay, all right. With that, you've answered all the 10 questions. Now we'll have your son come over and I'll ask these questions to your son and then we'll decide your score. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome to the show, Belden, Jigdra, Jurmi, right? You have a beautiful name. Who gave you that name?
My father.
Your father, okay. Belden, can I call you Belden?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have asked your dad 10 questions, okay? And once you finish your introduction, I'm going to ask these questions to you, though. But before we begin with the questions, please introduce yourself.
My name is Belden Jurmi. I am 10 years old and my school name is Tashiang Tsilor Secondary School. I have one elder sister and one younger brother.
Oh, okay. You're the middle child, right? I'm the middle child too. Do you like being the middle child? Be honest, huh? Honestly tell me, do you like being the middle child?
Yes,
You do?
Yes,
Why?
ma'am. Because I argue with my sister.
I do the same thing and I don't like being the middle child. Well, at least I used to not like being the middle child. You know why? Because when I argue with my elder sister, my mom is like, you're the younger one, behave yourself, right? And then when I argue with my younger one, you're the elder one. I never liked it, but I'm glad you love it. Anyways, Belden, are you ready to answer some really deadly questions here?
Yes.
Are you scared of the questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, very good, because these are all about you. You know the answers to it,
Yes.
right? Your upper should be worried, right? Not you. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Question number 1. Where are you from? Where's your village?
I am from Tashkang Radim.
Radi. Have you been to your village?
Yes.
Okay. Do you love it there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very beautiful. Okay. Question number 2. What is the color of your eyes?
White and black.
White and black. Of course, that's the white one, right? That shouldn't go black. Okay. So you think it's black. Okay, all right. Do you have class tests?
Yes.
Okay. When was the last class test you have?
Science.
Science? When was it?
Uh,
Was it this week? Was it last week?
last week.
Last week? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Do you like playing sports?
Yes.
What's your favorite sport?
Football.
Why do you like football?
Because it is interesting.
It's interesting. Okay, very good. Who's your favorite football player?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo? Okay, all right. Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Okay. Question number 5. Do you have any best friends?
Didn't
Question number 6. What is your favorite vegetable?
potato.
Potato, okay. Any other favorite vegetable?
Spinach.
Spinach, all right. Question number 7. Do you enjoy reading?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why do you enjoy reading?
Because it take interesting.
Okay, it makes it interesting, it makes it fun. What is your favorite book?
My favorite book is Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants. What does Captain Underpants do?
He helps the country. And
Oh, okay, so he saves lives, he helps people. Is it about sports?
no, ma'am.
No, okay, all right, fine. Then let's go on to your second last question. Do you know when our 4th king was crowned?
1974.
That is correct. So you know when he was crowned, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the last question. Do you know the full name of our 4th king?
King Jimmy Singh Wanshu.
You've answered all the 10 questions, and now we're going to take a look at your upper score. Would your son know where his village is?
Tashkang Radim.
Tashkang Radim.
Do you know the color of your son's eyes?
Black in color.
White and black.
Do you know when your son had his last class test?
Last week.
Last week.
Does your son enjoy any sports?
Football.
Football.
Can you name your son's best friend?
Nathan Wangpo.
Didn't want
Would you know your son's favorite vegetable?
Madatsi.
potato.
Does your son read?
He really enjoys reading.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your son's favorite book?
Sports books.
Captain Underpants.
Do you think your son knows the coronation date of our 4th king?
Maybe he knows the coronation year.
1974.
Do you think your son knows the fourth king's full name?
Yes,
King Jimmy Singh Walsh.
I have the score with me. Would you believe it if I said your dad only scored half out of 10? Do you think you'd believe that? No, right? You know your dad's a hero, like Captain Underpants, right? Okay, before I give you the score, let's look at the questions you weren't able to answer correctly. Favorite vegetable. What is your favorite Tim?
Emadati.
What do I do now? Because your dad said emadati and you said potato and spinach. I asked you, what's your favorite Tim? And you said emadati right now. But when I asked you what's your favorite vegetable, you were specific about the vegetable and you said potatoes and spinach. Your appa, immediately, as soon as I asked favorite vegetable, he said emadati. He went on the dish side, not the particular vegetable. So, because your answers match anyways, and I actually want to see, for this show is intended to see if your dad knows what you really like. And because he knows what you really like when it comes to Tim, dish, I'm going to give you that point. And the other question that your dad wasn't able to answer correctly was, he first of all didn't know what book you liked, and he said, in a general term, he said you like to read books about sports. He apparently knows you enjoy sports, right? You enjoy football, meh? But you said you like Captain Underpants. Did you see that book on his table?
no, I didn't.
Okay, where are you reading that book? Where did you get that book from?
Library.
Those were the two questions your dad wasn't initially able to answer correctly. But because I gave you a point for your favorite Tim, the score comes to 9 out of 10. Is that good? Yes, right? 9 out of 10. And it's a good sign. This is the first episode at 9 out of 10. And we hope every parent scores 9 out of 10. And even if they don't, it's not a big deal. But congratulations on your score.
Thank you.
You apparently seem to be a good teacher and a parent. Now we have the segment called the commitment segment, whereby we have both the child and the parent commit to something. We'll start with the parent first.
To spare my maximum time with, particularly with my kids, in reading, writing, and every aspects that they pursue, to especially in terms of studies.
Okay. And like you said, you are a teacher, you come home exhausted.
Yeah.
So it is a really difficult, it is a challenge to give your time to your kids at home. But you made your commitment. This is your commitment that your dad will spend as much time as he can with you. Not just doing homework or not just reading or not just writing. I mean, of course, these included. But just spending time talking to each other, playing games. So that's really good. That's a beautiful commitment. For you, Pelton, I have in here 3 commitments from your dad. Your dad decided that you have 3 things to improve in, but because you're just a little boy and we want you to work on one thing at a time, we will not make you do all the 3 things. Well, you just have to pick one, and you'll have to promise on live television that you are going to do this. Are you ready for a very huge commitment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So go ahead. You can pick one. Read books. But your dad says you do read book, right? Try to read as many books as you can. Now that we're done with the commitment, we're going to go to the with love.
My dear Jigda, today, when I get this golden episode to express my feelings to you through a medium of BBS television, let me be honest to say that you are very special to me simply because you are my son. Ever since you were born into our family, my happiness knew no bound, which it really inspired me to be more responsible father. In this great episode, let me also remind you of my advice, which I always give you. Jigda, life is not as easy as what we think. Without studying hard, we will not become a successful man in the future. Your Appa is proud of you simply because you listen to what I say. Though you are restless, talkative, and sometimes irritating, but I do understand this happens to everyone at this very young age. As a father, I have 3 best wishes for you in your life. Firstly, may you be always in good health. Secondly, may you be a good human being. And thirdly, may the success keep kissing your feet. And finally, let me also not forget to say that our family truly loves you for what you are, and regards from your loving Amma, Anna Baby, and Kota Rikfal. May God bless you with love. Your Appa Kunzang.
Oh, that was beautiful. Let's read yours.
My dear Appa, I am extremely happy to say that you are my best Appa in the world. I wrote this letter just to say I love you forever. Appa, you are my guiding star, you are my superhero, you are my role model, simply because I love the way you do the things, and I shall always remember and keep in my mind your kind advice. Jigda, study hard and everything I do is good for you. Everything, Jigda. I honestly thank the God for you being our great Appa, and let me also pray to God you to be our Appa in the next generations to come. We love you always from your sons and daughter, Rikpalweze Jurmi, Pelin Jigda Jurmi, and Anna Bibi. Finally, may God bless you and long live our lovely father, Karinche Appa.
Wow. We've come to the end of the show. Belden, you did really well. You have written a beautiful letter, and so did you. And you should be a proud father, and you should be really proud that you scored 9 out of 10. But sadly, we don't have anything for you because you have such a beautiful son. That's a reward in itself. We have a couple of books in here from the Ministry of Education in collaboration with UNICEF, and this beautiful book written by Legson Pelden Hamo. This girl is in class 9. Okay, you're in class 5, right? So she's just 4 classes older than you, Ime, and she has already written her first book. Ime, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that just magical, right? So I want to give you this book because I want you to be inspired to go and get hold of your dreams before you. Most of us wait till we graduate, right, to make our dreams come true. But this girl already made her dream come true while she was in class 9, right? So use this book as an inspiration. And then I have 2 beautiful books. You can read it for your little brother. Okay, it says Oh Cheche, and this is 10 things I need the most during my 2nd and 3rd year of life. How old is your little brother?
6.
So he's a little older, but these are general knowledge. And your father can also read it. Anyone in the family can read it. The other beautiful book that I'm giving you is this beautiful book about the 4th king, okay? In this book, there are so many beautiful pictures, and they've mentioned all the beautiful things, all the magnificent, magnanimous things our 4th king did for the country, okay? So I want you to definitely read this, and then you will know more about the king, Tupka, the 4th king. People can buy this at the bookstore, but what they don't get at the bookstore is the autographed version of it, okay? So the Bhutanese author who wrote this book has autographed it specially for you, okay? So you can keep this. So it's a priceless copy. And the other very beautiful, it's a sponsor that has been with us since season 1, okay? So Titan wants to thank you for being an adorable son to your father, okay? And I know this is the main attraction for the kids to come to the show. They come for this watch. They actually don't like the questions or anything. They come for this watch. And so Titan and these beautiful authors, and I want to thank you on behalf of the team of Do You Know Your Child for being the first guest of season 3 of Do You Know Your Child, okay? With this, I want to thank you for bringing your son. With the success of the show for the last 2 years, we have learned that it is not only how well you know your child, but it is also important to address the issue of how well your child knows you. Because that firstly shows that there is communication between you and your child. And secondly, that flow of communication is a two-way street, whereby both you and your child share and exchange information. This is important to build the relationship between you and your child. And while it might be you looking after your son or daughter now, it is only natural that some fine day your child would look after you. We have come to the end of a fun episode of the show. We'll catch up with you next week, same time and place. Till then, if you have any suggestions or feedback, please email us at parenting@bbs.pt or write to us on our Facebook page. Thank you and bye-bye. Did I say festival? Sorry.
From Tashkent.
Tashkent Radhi. So
Radhi.
Radhi. No, my nose is jump.
rangi misena la kachi beru lerim kachi sumchi na chama toru tiseda thigomi tsatsara I tiseda thisuni tenlo rangi laba chuse kholore gopdi kanewa kelche di beule pise lebekha zonam ja chichi zamling gyakab leshichi na tarchap joyi mi titan semi chuse kholochu du gyakab na le nanden bedi bi Disuge gonche nildam jibjangap chile gochukdi tongta kechinga simge panabe yable rara sose ombab da tindi jicho chobe yise shuni jiba chembachin timpu thomgi bulu chuse kholoka shenle thandi dumda chi thomdi dekhoja sa ho chembachin lamgi talu kelwang dingchim yo tholo yise shuni
喂，阿内妹说说喂，哪一妹说？阿杜妹说的喂。